I want to share my story. I titled it, The House I Built for Others. I'm telling this story myself because it took almost losing everything to truly understand the lesson hidden inside it. For most of my life, people knew me as the dependable one, the helper, the giver, the man who would never say no. Money came early for me, and I wore responsibility like a badge of honor. I believed my purpose was to fix problems, to rescue, to provide. But unfortunately, I was always looking outward, never inward to my immediate family. I paid school fees for siblings and nephews, settled rent, funded businesses, and cleaned up messes that weren't mine. If someone showed up with a sad story, I listened and gave. I thought generosity was proof of love. Inside my own home, though, things were different. My wife learned how to stretch meals. My children learned patience too early. When I rebuilt my late father's old house, I made it big and beautiful. I rebuilt the house with the help of one of my sisters with the intention to live there together with my junior brother. And this made me believe that I don't need to build my own house. I never built a home for myself. Even when people advised me otherwise, I will reply them later. I always said, I didn't know that later was quietly running out. Then life tested me. My business is slowed down, investments failed. The phone stopped ringing. The people who once depended on me suddenly became unreachable. I grew sick, so sick that I ended up on a hospital bed, staring at the ceiling and wondering how everything had changed so fast. At first, my siblings came around. They promised to return. They spoke in spiritual language and hopeful cliches. Then they vanished. The ones who stayed were my wife, my children, and my in-laws. People I had unintentionally placed second for years. Hospital bills piled up. We sold what we could. We borrowed. Still, it wasn't enough. When there was nothing left, my wife did something that still humbles me to this day. She bought sachet water and stood under the sun with our children, selling water on the streets just to keep me alive. Her hands blistered. Her body ached. She never complained. One day, exhausted and in tears by the roadside, a stranger noticed her. He listened, and quietly, without looking for praise, he paid my hospital bills in full. That was how I survived. But survival doesn't automatically bring healing. Love that abandons you in your weakest moment was never love at all. When I finally returned home, weak but hopeful, I expected rest. Instead, I found myself displaced. The house I rebuilt with my sweat and sacrifices was fully occupied by my younger brother and his family. My belongings had been moved into the boys' quarters. When I asked him why, his answer was simple and cold. Our father willed the house to me. It's mine. In that moment, something broke inside me, not loudly, but completely. I understood painfully that the house I built for others had no room for me. That was when the lesson became clear. I wasn't broken because I had lost money. I was broken because I had neglected boundaries. I had confused responsibility with self-erasure. I had invested everything in people who disappeared when I became inconvenient. I willed almost all my properties in my junior brother's name when the going was smooth. Before I continue with my story, subscribe to my channel and press the notification button. After that bitter lesson, I couldn't build a new house immediately, but I could still rebuild my future. I called my lawyer and changed my will. Every property I owned was reassigned to my wife and children. I cut financial ties with my siblings, not in anger, but with painful clarity. I learned this too late, but I learned it well. Family is not who you sacrifice your home for. Family is who stays when the money is gone. I never rebuilt the house of my childhood, but I rebuilt something greater: wisdom, boundaries, and a legacy. That finally begins where it should have all along, with my wife and my children. And if there's one truth I want my children to carry forward, it is this: love that abandons you in your weakest moment was never love at all. What did you learn from my story? Let me know in the comment section. Share and subscribe to my channel for more true life stories like this. Thanks for watching.